Guys, so today I am bringing you the On My Shelf tag. I've done this before, but it's been ages since I did my last one, and they're kind of a fun tag that allows me to explore my shelves and show you guys books that I wouldn't normally get around to showing you. So I got 5 sets of numbers from various booktube friends, and I'm going to link everybody's channels down below. So the first one is Brittany, and she gave me the numbers 4 and 1, and the 4th cube is my unread Penguin English Library. So the book she picked was Daniel Deronda by George Eliot. This will probably be the next George Eliot book that I'm going to read. I haven't gotten around to it yet. It is a bit of a chunker. It's what, like 900 pages. I do love George Eliot, as you guys know. I've read The Mill on the Floss, I've read Middlemarch and Silas Marner. So I picked this one up for quite cheap. I think it was like $5.99 at that like used bookstore in Toronto that I love. Yeah, it was $5.99, and yeah, so I will probably get to this at some point. I don't know much about it. I know there's a mini series, so I need to read it so I can watch the mini series. But that's about all I know about this book, is that it's George Eliot and I need to read it. You guys know how I get with my authors. Next up, Yaman gave me a couple numbers, and I forget exactly what the numbers were, but it was a book I haven't seen in ages because I triple stack some of my cubes just because of the amount of books I have and like the lack of space. And that is The Curious Fates of Famous Corpses Rest in Pieces by Bess Lovejoy. Now I've had this for ages and I haven't read it. It's a non-fiction book. And I mostly picked it up because my friend kind of shoved it into my hands at one point, and it was one of those things where I was like, oh, this is such a cool design. But basically this goes through a bunch of different stories about like how people died and their corpses. Like it's kind of weird. If I take this little like jacket off, it's got like a skull underneath. Like the design on this is just absolutely fantastic. And then it's got a skeleton without his head and the shovel, so clearly the skeleton was digging up the head. Yeah, I think I mostly just got this because of the design and the concept. I might like read this in October for like some spooky reads. Yeah, I actually kind of forgot that I own this, so it's scary when that happens, when you own so many books that sometimes you forget what you own. Next up, and let me just quickly look up who gave me these numbers because a bunch of people did. Elizabeth gave me 2 and 3, which is my cloth-bound classics. And that is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. So finally a book that I've read. Most of these are unread, just because of the way that the numbers worked out. I'm like grabbing from unread sections. I read this last year or the year before. I think it was in December, 2 years ago. And I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as War and Peace, but I am glad I read it. It's quite the hefty book. Yeah, I love this cover design. It's one of my favorite of the cloth-bound classics. I just think that the like muted mauve purple and the bright pink spyglasses are just absolutely stunning for design. So yeah, getting at some really cool designed ones. Next up is Elena, and she gave me 2 and 2, so once again, my cloth-bound classics, and it's my copy of Frankenstein, which is my other favorite edition in the cloth-bound classics. I have read this, I have studied this, I have written papers on this book. I actually really enjoy this. I want to read more Mary Shelley. I have The Last Man in the Oxford World Classics edition that I really want to read. And yeah, I really enjoy Frankenstein. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fantastic introduction to like science fiction, and as like the kind of like first ever science fiction book. Yeah, it's just fantastic. If you haven't read Frankenstein, it's quite short. I think it's only like 200 or 300 pages, so definitely give it a go. Maybe in October when it's like scary time. And last up is from Nicola over at Robotnik, and she gave me the numbers 3 and 7. Now my third shelf is my gold Fitzgerald editions, like the gilded ones that have metallic finishes, and my Penguin Horror. And I don't have 17 books, so it actually carried me over into the 4th shelf to count to 17. We discussed what I should do with this, whether or not I should just get her to pull another number or just keep counting, and we decided to just keep counting. So it took me over into my unread Penguin English Library, and it is Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott. I actually started this, and I'm only like 5 chapters in, but I set it aside. I started it in the summer, and then it just wasn't grabbing me, so I just put it aside. And yeah, it's one of those like romantic tales that I feel like, you know, it's one of those books that's on various lists of things people should read, you know, those classic lists. So I think that's why I grabbed it. The cover design's alright. It's like yellow, orange, and a dark green, and it's got jousting horses on it, which is interesting, but not, can't say it's my favorite one. The color scheme is a bit meh, but you know, I'll get to it eventually. It's on the shelf. Actually, I'm pretty happy with the amount of unread Penguin English Libraries I have in comparison to like the read ones. I definitely am slowly getting through all of them, and eventually this cube will be empty and I'll have to find something else to put in there. But that is my on the shelf tag, guys, and I will see you guys in another video. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys like these kinds of tags. If you want to do this tag, I'll give you the numbers 4 and 14 if that fits into your like organization. So if you want to do that, you can use that as a start, and I will see you guys later. Bye.